We got a flat. First we'll show you how to fix it using the Electric Jack Pro. Then we'll show you everything you need to know to lift your Can-Am Defender with this jack. Let's get into it. Now, if you had, or I should say if you didn't have an impact, before you lift, it's best to break these lug nuts loose. That way you're not having to work with a drivetrain that's up in the air. We do have an impact, we're gonna use that. One other note is these do use 17 millimeter socket, so it's a little bit smaller than normal. We got that on the gun, so we'll get these off. The goal here is to make sure you catch these. Now, if one does fall into the dirt, it's not the end of the world. We'll just knock that out, blow it out, and make sure it's free of debris. And the reason that's important is if there's any dirt or debris in here and we go back on to the stud after we've done the tire change, you could damage your stud, and that creates a whole world of problems. So keep those clean. We'll put them in a safe spot now. We'll get this guy traded out. Okay, got our repaired tire on. We're going to start all our lugs by hand. That way we make sure we don't cross thread any of these. That is a nightmare in itself, so worth the extra couple seconds to do this by hand. Go ahead and take the impact, and now we're going to tighten this in a cross pattern to make sure that the wheel pulls flat to the brake rotor. On some vehicles, when you do tighten these, if you were going to tighten them in a circle, there's a chance you could pull one end of the wheel up to the rotor sooner. Tighten all the lug nuts. Never know that it hasn't seated fully until you go drive, and then that wheel squares up. All those lug nuts come loose, fall off, and so does the wheel. Real bad day. So, star pattern for the win. At this point, if you have a torque wrench, please lower the jack down till the tire just touches the ground. We don't want to put all the load back on the wheel. And then tighten this to manufacturer spec. But because we're in the middle of nowhere, we're going to go ahead and just use the impact, and we're going to do that tightening pattern one more time to make sure this is secure. All right, with that done, we can get the jack down and out of the car. Okay, with that off, we can hit the trail. We'll start with the rear lift, but first, let's grab our jack, battery, and hook. For the Defender, because it is a low travel car, we actually don't need to worry about picking up from the suspension. We can do everything from the side of the vehicle. And what we'll do for a rear lift is we're actually going to locate ourselves just inside the door opening here. Now, this car doesn't have doors, but if there was a rear door, go ahead and open that up. That way the jack isn't pushing into the door. And then we're going to position this. Oh, let's adjust that a little bit. Position this in under the car. Now, the frame rail is a couple inches in. You can actually feel it. There's a slight bump about that far in. You want to make sure that the pad on the hook is all the way in and contacting the frame rail. The other thing we want to do is make sure that the jack pad here is a little bit in more than the top of the jack. The reason we're tilting that in the bottom in relation to the car is as the car pivots off the wheels on the opposite side, the jack is going to start to stand up. Then it's in that vertical position when we're doing our repair, much more sturdy than if we started with this vertical all the way down or even the bottom out. As we lift, then the angle becomes more extreme, a lot higher chance that the car could fall off the jack. So do yourself a favor, jack pad in. We're going to get our 2 points of contact, one with the pad on the bottom of the car, and then the body against the vehicle for the second. And it looks good, so we can lift. There it is. Tire is off the ground and ready to perform your repair. For a front lift, again, we'll be going under the side of the car, picking up on that frame rail. So just like we did in the rear, we're going to start with that pad in a little bit more than the top of the jack. We're going to slowly lift up. Make sure we have those 2 points of contact with the pad and the body. We look good, so we can lift. Now here you see the jack is actually sliding a bit. The ground over here looks to be a little bit harder than the ground out here, but no big deal. What we'll do is just lower this back down. And we can actually rotate the collar 90 degrees. And what that's going to do is it's going to take the pivot and change the direction that the jack pivots. This is going to create a little more stability and force more load onto that hard packed part of the ground. Go ahead and lift again. Okay, tire is off the ground and ready to perform your repair. Before you go, 2 quick tips. 1, if your car is drivable, try to get that off the trail and parked on a flat surface with no rocks or debris if possible. It's safer for you because then you won't get hit, and it's a lot easier to work on the car if you're not having to fight debris. Tip 2, if you have an ice chest or a toolbox or a spare tire, or you can find rocks or logs laying around, slide one of those bad boys under the car. It acts as a second point of contact. That way, if God forbid something happens and the car falls off the jack, it'll catch the car so it doesn't drop all the way to the ground, saving you time and hopefully making everything a little bit safer. And that being said, today's video had one goal, and that was to show you everything you need to know to lift your Can-Am Defender quickly and safely. Because how you lift it matters. I'm Bryan with AGM. Thanks for watching this episode of How You Lift It, and we'll see you next time.